ಕೇಳುಗರೆ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ SSLC ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ನೀವು ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. 22119999, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 22222611, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 22236111, ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ STD ಕೋಡ್ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 0824, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 8277703800. ಈ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಕರೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಷಯ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಆಂಗ್ಲ, ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಮಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋದಾದರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಆಂಗ್ಲ. ಈ ಆಂಗ್ಲ ವಿಷಯ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್, ಇದರ ಈ ಬಾರಿಯ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಿ.
Good morning and warm greetings to you all. To begin with, the blueprint, we have the prose 10 lessons and there are 12 questions in this part, and it carries 30 marks, total 30 marks. Then poetry, we have 10 poems and the total marks are 30 again. Then we have non-detailed 3 lessons which carries 7 marks, and then we have the grammar and composition, under which we have grammar and vocabulary, analogy, passage for comprehension, we have essay and then letter writing, total 33 marks. So total 100 marks. Now coming for lesson wise weightage, first lesson, a wrong man in workers paradise, we have a question of 3 marks. It could be a reference to context or could be a question like 2 marks and 1 mark, making 3 marks. The second lesson, we have the elixir of life. You can expect a question of 4 marks from this lesson. The third lesson is the gift of the Magi. From this lesson, we have a question of 3 marks, or it could be a reference to context also. Lesson 4, Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease. You can expect a question of 4 marks. It's a descriptive question. You have so many things to learn in that lesson. The experiments, the human qualities of Pasteur, then message to the younger students, and about vaccination, all these points. Coming to lesson 5, what is moral action? Here again we have a question of 3 marks. The criteria to call an act as a moral act. So you can expect a question of 3 marks here. Lesson 6, the eyes are not here. From this lesson you can expect a question of 3 marks or reference to the context. Lesson 7, the girl who was Anne Frank. From this lesson you can expect a question of 1 mark as well as 3 mark question. Total weightage is 4 marks. Lesson 8, a village cricket match. We have a question of 2 marks, 1 question. Lesson 9, consumerist culture. We have total 3 marks allotted to this lesson. 1 mark, 1 question, and 2 marks, 1 question. And the last lesson under prose, the pie and the tart. Here we have 1 question carrying 1 mark. So total of 30 marks. Now coming to the poetry, the first poem, To a Pair of Sorrow Screens, we have a question of 1 mark and a question of 2 marks, total 3 marks allotted. Second one, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. You can expect a question of 4 marks here. List the values or maybe to elaborate the values, like that. Third one, Vachana, the temple and the body. We have a question of 3 marks, and as you know, it is also for memorization. So kindly revise the poem well, and you can also expect a question of 3 marks from this poem. Fourth, poetry, Lochinvar. We have a question of 3 marks, preferably a reference to the context. And it is also the first 4 stanzas are for memorization. Kindly revise. Fifth one, a poison tree. Here you have to know the entire poem. This is for memorization, which carries 4 marks. So you have to revise this for your memorization, where you can score full 4 marks. Coming to the next one, Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare. You can expect a question of 2 marks. The Stolen Boat by William Wordsworth, the 7th one. You have a question of 3 marks, descriptive answer. Mending Wall, the 8th poem. You can expect a question of 2 marks, 1 question. The weightage is 2 marks. But 2, from this you can expect a question of 3 marks. And finally CLM. From here you can expect 1 question of 3 marks, that is, or you can even expect a reference to the context. So with that we finish with the poetry. Now 7 marks are allotted for the non-detail. The first lesson is the Treasure Island, and this carries a 2 mark 1 question. Weightage is 2 marks. We have Karna. From this lesson, supplementary reading lesson, you can expect a question of 3 marks. And the last one, Ulysses and the Cyclops. You can expect a question of 2 marks, 1 question. So total 100 marks.
ಈಗ ಇದೇ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದ, ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಬರ್ತದ ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದಾ?
The department has already prepared this blueprint, and we have the model question papers also prepared in the same pattern. So students can revise for the exam following the blueprint. But I would like to say that maybe 70% of it would be from the blueprint. Then sometimes there would be some changes here and there which they have to be prepared for.
ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಈ ಬಾರಿ?
The question paper pattern, if you go by the design as it is called, you first have Roman number, you have first 6 questions of MCQs. In MCQ includes only vocabulary and grammar. Then comes what is called Roman number 2, to observe the relation between the first pair of words and complete the second pair. We call it analogy. That's 4 questions. Then you have again Roman number 3, grammar, rewrite as directed, of 1 mark each, 3 questions. Then there is another Roman number 6, in which you have 2 marks grammar. Now I'm focusing only on the grammar and vocabulary part because she has already dealt with the textual content. So let me go through the topics that can come for MCQ. So I'll read out the list. Kindly make a note and practice it. Synonyms, that is meanings. Antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. Opposites using prefix, suffix, or just antonyms. Then you have homophones and rhyming words. Now this doesn't come mostly in MCQs, it comes in analogy. Then you have word forms, nouns, verbs, adjectives. Then there is another, just nouns in terms of gender, number and collectives. That I will give you a few examples for analogy. Then use of phrasal verbs. They'll give you a fill in the blank and they'll ask you to fill in the blank with an appropriate phrasal verb. That comes with MCQ. Then modal verbs. Use of modal verbs as a request, with permission, abilities. Then use of idioms and phrases. Use of the correct tense and forms of the verbs. Fill in the blank with a preposition, conjunction, article. That's a very common question that you can expect in MCQ. Question tag. That I can assure you is one of the sure questions. These are, I would say, then one figure of speech. Figure of speech also comes in MCQ. So what I have given now is a general idea of what to expect in MCQ questions. Next we go to the Roman number 2, as I said, analogy. In analogy, they can give you, as I've already told you, nouns, noun forms, rhyming words, homophones, gender, number, collective nouns, all that. Then comes that one sentence, that is rewrite as directed, carrying 1 mark. So what to expect there? Active and passive voice. Then they can ask you if clause. Usually for standard 10 first language, they will ask you to combine 2 sentences in the third conditional. I know it is not in the syllabus of class 10, but you have already studied the basics of it in detail in class 9. So you will have to recall what you have studied in class 9 and answer this particular question, especially the third conditional. Then frame a question to get the underlined words as answer. So that is another one. Then you have structures. Now I'll just read out a list of structures. You can make note of it. For example, neither nor, the use of either or, as soon as, no sooner than, so that not, hardly, seldom, besides, both, and. So these come for 1 mark. Then you have rewrite as directed for 2 marks. Now this is of a little higher order. So for example, to change to various degrees of comparison, direct and reported speech, then transformation of sentences, simple, compound, complex. Then you also have affirmative, negative, exclamatory sentence. You'll find samples of all these questions in the model question papers.
ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಮತ್ತು ಈಗ ಕೆಲವರು ಸ್ಲೋ ಲರ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳಿಸಿ.
Yeah, this year we are very happy to know that the government has reduced the threshold for passing marks. So the passing criteria in general is 30% in each subject, but an overall of 33%. Now coming to first language English, we have passing marks of 41 because the total marks is 125. You're answering 100 marks written and 25 marks is added from internal. You have when you answer your exam on March 18th, you have already secured your internal marks. The internal marks are given based on your performance in FA 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if you have done very well, you can score a maximum of 25 marks. The rest of the marks you have to secure in the written exam. So that is very negligible amount according to me. 41 marks out of 125. Out of 100 you have to get 33. So there is no minimum marks in each paper this time. So therefore you can, there is no question of anyone's failing in this subject. Everyone can pass. Now what are the things that you have to concentrate on? The simple basic things that you have to know. As I told you, if you find, I'm talking about the slow learners, if you find things are difficult in terms of grammar, you can focus on poetry, which is 4 marks, letter writing and essay writing. Then, as teacher has just given you the blueprint gives you clear guidelines to focus on the correct amount of marks per chapter, what to expect. So based on this, if you prepare, there is no way you can fail this year.
ಓಕೆ. ಕೇಳುಗರೆ, MRPL ಬಾನುಲಿ ಶಾಲೆ ನೇರ ಫೋನ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಷಯ SSLCಯ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಆಂಗ್ಲ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ನೀವು ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗಳು 22119999, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 22222611, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 22236111, 221199, 22222611, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ 22236111. ನಮ್ಮ STD ಕೋಡ್ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 0824 0824. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 8277703800 8277038000. ಈ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಈಗ ಈ ಭಾಷೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಈಗ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅವರು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
To score full marks in first language English, the students have to read the textbook. They have to be thorough with all the lessons. They should know the content very well. So each and every lesson each and every lesson should be read properly, giving importance to the the grammatical concepts, or it could be the questions related to 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks or 4 marks. So if they are thorough with the textbook, then there is they can definitely score very well. At the same time, when they answer the paper, as teacher already has told, that they should know how to manage their time and also to write the answers according to the question, the requirement. For a 2-mark question, they should write only what is necessary. For reference to context, they have to underline the name of the lesson, the name of the author or the poet, and even the reference. When they write, the important points could be underlined. And when they have to write 3-mark and 4-mark questions, they should know how much to answer for each question. And they should also, that letter writing or essay, even the essay, when they write the essay, it should have all the requirements, like for example a good introduction, then there should be paragraphs dealing with the topic, explaining the topic well, and a proper conclusion. And the letter writing, the letter should be written with the correct format. And if they follow all these instructions, and if they are thorough with the textbook, I think then the students can definitely score full marks in English.
ಏನಾದರೂ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಮೇಡಮ್?
This time, we are lucky that a new system has been introduced by the department that is called LBA, that is Lesson Based Assessment. And I'm happy to inform you that in first language English, the study material for the whole of Karnataka was prepared by the teachers of Dakshina Kannada. So, this material that they have prepared covers every aspect of the question paper lesson wise. There are MCQ questions, analogy, grammar, and question answers of different types. So if you don't have a copy, I'm sure your teacher who's teaching you, she has a copy, and she may, because it was prepared in the month of October, so she may have dealt with it since the syllabus form October, but for revision purpose you can refer to the lessons that were done in June till October. So that is a very exhaustive and thorough assessment, that is LBA. If they refer to that also, it will be of great help. And she mentioned the essays. In that LBA, they have given you various topics. For not only the topics for essays, they have also given you sample essays and letters, official and personal. So you can refer to those for your study. The main topic may be different, but the format, the writing in paragraphs, writing side headings for the essays, it is beautifully given in the LBA study material that is prepared by the teachers of Dakshina Kannada.
ಇನ್ನು ಈಗ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರೋದಾದರೆ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲಿಬಹುದು, ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಲಿಯೋದಾದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಹೇಗೆ?
Okay. Now I told you about analogy. Last time when I had a meeting with the teachers of another school, they asked me how to teach children, how to learn, or how to teach them to prepare for analogy. One thing I already told you, students who are going to score full marks, distinction marks, you have to study a textbook very well. So when I say textbook, it is the glossary behind every lesson. Then you have vocabulary and grammar exercises. Now when it comes to analogy, there are certain questions that are given. Now for example, I'll give you a few. Antonyms are asked. For example, always, never, former, dash, latter, or for, friend, aerial, terrestrial. So like this, you'll be given antonyms. So prepare for antonyms. Next comes synonyms. Synonyms means meanings. For example, potent, powerful, gallant, brave, wrath, anger, foe, enemy. Then you have homophones, the words that sound the same but spell different. For example, tail, tail, naughty, Knotty. The answer is Naughty. Then you have seen, seen, die. Now for example, die, D-I-E, the answer is D-Y-E. So like this you have questions. Then in number, I told you nouns in number. For example, they can ask you bees, hive, cattle, herd. Then you have soldiers, army, judges, panel. Then you have friends, circle, singers, choir. These words can also, for number, they can even give you from supplementary reading. So supplementary reading is good to improve your vocabulary. So many of these, like for example, sheep, flock, ships, fleet. So like this, you can be asked players, team, sailors, crew. So these words are coming in supplementary reading. Then you have gender, like hunter, huntress, wizard, witch, stallion, mare. Then you have goose, gander, ewe, that is E-W-E, ewe. The male is ram. So like this you have gender. Then you have of course the adverb form, adjective form, noun form, word form. Last time it was a homophone, just one letter, stationary, A-R-Y and E-R-Y. So that was just a homophone with a slight change. So those things you have to keep in mind. Rhyming words. Then you have professions. This comes in Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease. There are many medical terms there you have to know. Like for example, nerves, neurologist, kidney, urologist. So those medical terms, you have an entire exercise in Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease. So other than that, you have like archer, archery, carpenter, carpentry. Then you have mathematics, mathematician, statistics, statistician. So like that. Then you have, so these are some examples I gave you that can come for analogy. Then we go to the other grammar part. You have in 2 marks, I told you, you have degrees of comparison. In degrees of comparison, compared to your 8th and the 9th, in the 10th, you will get it at a little higher level. So you will get it in a superlative degree with the use of the word one. So that's a little more difficult than the other one. So in like for example, if you say that Sachin Tendulkar is one of the most popular cricketers in India, okay, that is in superlative degree. In positive degree, you will begin with very few cricketers in India are as popular as Sachin Tendulkar. and in comparative degree, Sachin Tendulkar is more popular than most other cricketers in India. So like this, our little higher level. Then you have to change the voice of the verb, active, passive voice. Now, there you will get with an ing, or you may get it in the form of a question. You have examples of it in the model paper. So if you are thorough with the model paper, your teacher, I'm sure, will give you many more questions for practice. Then you have the question tags. Now, question tags is a very easy question that comes in the MCQs, that is with or without the helping verb, or with or without the helping verb in the statement. Then you have suggestions. For example, let's try to do it the other way. Shall we? So that is a little different. So I'm sure you have already heard and practiced all of those. Then I was talking to you about the third conditional. So now this third conditional, one year, suddenly appeared in the question paper, and many students were taken by surprise. So what is this third conditional? There is a formula for it. If you want, you can write it down. It is if plus past perfect plus would have plus verb. Now, for example, she studied hard. She secured the first rank. They'll give you two statements and ask you to combine them together. So, in the third conditional, they will ask you to convert it into third conditional. So, you have to write, if she had studied, she would have secured the first rank. So, that is the way you will get the third conditional. So, first and second conditional are easy. That is the possible. But this third conditional is a little difficult. If you practice it, you will get it. Yeah.
ಈಗ ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಾದರೆ ಈಗ ಎಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅವರು ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಗಳು ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Regarding essay, we have the umbrella, the main term environment. So, under this term environment, you have environment pollution. You have under which you have air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, then noise pollution, and other things, related things, as well as how to, questions can come from any of these. Then save water, save life, how to conserve water, the effect of plastic pollution on marine life, measures to be taken. We have things like, regarding under pollution, you can also expect a question like greener the earth, richer the life. So if any of these questions come, I think you need to prepare one main model composition with a good introduction. For all these topics, you have to prepare one introduction, including maybe you can begin your essay with a proverb and a good introduction, keep it ready. Then coming to the main topic, if it is air pollution, write regarding air pollution and its effects and how to solve the problem. Coming to water pollution, the same way, the causes and the effects and remedial measures. Same way, all the other types of pollutions. And then a very beautiful conclusion you must always keep ready. So one model essay should be there, and then you please keep all these topics in your mind which are related to environment, afforestation, global warming, then impact of climate change and environmental degradation. So there are so many topics that come. If you refer the old question papers, you will come across many topics related to environment. So I would like to suggest that you should prepare one model composition on environment with a good introduction and a conclusion, and with coming to the main topic, then you can change the body of the composition, the essay, and you can modify it according to the need. So this is one thing. Coming to the second main one is mass media. Now, regarding mass media, now we have so many things, aspects in under mass media, just like environment. So under mass media, we have the things like social media. We have the various types of mass media, that is radio, television, then newspaper, then other things. Then today, nowadays, we have social media, internet, mobile phone, the uses and effects of the internet usage. Then now recently we have started with artificial intelligence, so AI and its impact on human life, AI, its merits and demerits, so technology and its influence on modern lifestyle. So you can expect any of this. So I think I ask you to prepare a good composition even on mass media, a beautiful introduction and also a good conclusion. And these topics, as I told you already about mass media, then under that the various modes of mass media, social media, mobile phones, internet, artificial intelligence, all these terms you have to prepare well. Then you may also get some general topics. And then one more thing is national integration. So related to national integration also you will get different topics related to national integration. And you can also have topics based on empowerment of women, educating girls, empower women. Then regarding role of women, the role of women in modern society. Then something like, you can also get under technology, like as I told you about mass media, you can also get something about online shopping, because nowadays people are very much influenced by this online shopping. So regarding this also you may get a question about online shopping, the rise of online shopping and its effects. So then you can also expect topics like general topics about students, discipline part related to discipline, importance of sports and games, the topics related to health and all these kinds of things, like you may get. Even one more topic could be old age homes, are they needed? See, this is a general topic. So you can even expect a general topic, the topic which is currently like what we are facing. So there will be some current topics, but mainly you have three main topics, that is environment. Then you have the next one is about national integration. The third thing is mass media. And also you have a topic on population explosion. I think you know about it. So even that topic you should prepare. So if you prepare generally for all these topics, I think definitely you can score good marks.
ಈಗ ಲೆಟರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರೋದಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಲೆಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ?
In letter writing there are two types, official and personal. It is an or question and it carries 5 marks. Now as teacher said, one of the problems our students of English first language faces the usage of time, that is time management. So what happens is they spend so much of time in answering the 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark question, but the most marks that you can score are in the essay and letter writing. Compared to the essay, the letter writing is very easy. But for that, you need to know the format. So first, since it is very sure that there is going to be an official and a personal letter that will be given as an or question, you specialize in one. Don't mix both. If you are very sure about the format of an official letter, no matter what that letter is, you should be able to follow it. Now, the official letter format, first you have the heading part. In the modern format, it is left aligned letter writing. So you start with the from address, and that name is clearly given in the question paper. Imagine you are Rahul or Radhika of Government High School, Mysore. So you have to stick to that name as it is given in the question paper. For no reason should you write your personal name in your answer script, because in the beginning you have written only your register number. So we do not want to know from where you are. So you have to follow the instructions given in the question paper. So you write from Rahul, Government High School, Mysore. Then comes date. Now date, usually students write numbers. Yeah, but when you're writing an official letter, it's a formal letter. You have to write the month, the day, and the year. Then comes to. Now you're writing a letter, it's an official letter to a person of authority. If it is a headmaster, if it is the curator of a museum, to the road transport officer, to the mayor of the city, or to a manager of a bank, or to the postmaster in a post office, it is a title given to a person. So that has to be written in capitalized letters and very clearly written. So there, when you're writing a letter to the curator of a museum, you may not know the name of a museum, but generally you can make up a name. Like, you know that the museums in India are under the control of the Archaeological Survey of India. So you can write that much. You write, and then you write whichever the city. If you're in Mysore, you're traveling to Bangalore, you write Bangalore. Then you have to write the salutation. Salutation, again, dear sir, respected sir. Then in an official letter, the most important thing is the subject of the letter. Now the subject is clearly mentioned in the question. So write a letter to the curator of the museum seeking permission to visit the museum. So very clear, permission to visit the museum. And when you are asking permission, you have to specify the date when you are visiting. Or if you are telling them to the postmaster, if you are writing a letter telling him that your parcel is missing, so it has to be very specifically mentioned the date and thing. So you have a subject. Then comes the body of the letter. So those are the things that I told you when they evaluate your paper. When you say format, all these things are necessary. Then when you come to the body of the letter again, you have to specify. If you're going to visit a museum, you have to mention the date, the time, and how many people are expected. So you write that very clearly. Or you're complaining about the insanitary conditions in your area. You have to be very specific exactly about the clearance of garbage in your area, the effect of it on the people, and what you expect from the mayor or your local corporator or the health officials, whoever you're writing the letter to, the bank manager or whoever. It has to be specifically asked. For example, if your parcel is missing, you have to, that last statement in the body of the letter should be kindly ensure that this particular package number that is found at the earliest. Or if you're writing to a letter to the editor, you may be talking about the bad roads in your city, but finally you have to ask him, kindly publish this matter in your esteemed newspaper, because that is the request. Then comes thank you. Then the subscription, yours sincerely, yours truly, yours faithfully, because it is an official letter. And importantly, signature. So if you are Rahul who is writing the letter, your signature also has to be Rahul. Now, many students have this confusion. Should they write the superscription? Now, what is a superscription? Is what you write on the envelope of a official letter. Always, anybody, when you are writing a letter to a person of authority, it is usually put in a nice envelope and handed over. That is etiquette. So that's why you must write the letter to whom you are writing. So there should be a to there, and you write the superscribe on the envelope. So you draw a rectangular box, and within that you write the to address legibly. So your entire format is done. So usually when they evaluate, if they just see that the format of the letter is perfect, there is no way they can reduce your marks. You will get full 5 marks. That's why I said you can score full 5 marks in letter writing.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ ಅಥವಾ ಇವರೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಗೆ?
No, the form address will not be given. They will just tell you to write a letter to the manager of a bank, or the letter to the editor of your local newspaper. So that's why there, like I said, the curator of a museum. So you have to know the name of a museum. If they say the editor of a newspaper or your local newspaper, you have to write your own, like the Hindu, the New Indian Express, the Times of India. You know, that basic little knowledge that you have acquired over the period of time, you should be able to write. Yeah.
No, from address they'll give.
Yeah.
From means from where? Who is the person? Like as teacher said, Reena or Ramesh or whatever, and the school address that will be given. But to address will not be mentioned. To means only to the curator of a museum or to the editor of a paper, that way.
Okay.
So there they have to use their knowledge, and they have to prepare one address and they have to write.
ಇನ್ನು ಈಗ ಪೋಯಟ್ರಿ ಮೆಮೊರೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರೋದಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಪೋಯಮ್ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ?
Poetry, we have 3 poems. Like first one is the temple and the body, that is Basavanna's Vachana. And then we have Lochinvar, only the first 4 stanzas they have to memorize. And we have the other poem that is A Poison Tree. So these 3 poems are for memorization for 4 marks. Now out of these, the temple and the body and A Poison Tree, now if I'm talking about the students who find it difficult, like the slow learners, maybe they can revise these both poems very well so that they can definitely get the 4 marks. But I would suggest that the other students, for example, the ones who want to score very well, they should also keep ready the other one, that is Abraham Lincoln's Lochin, first 4 stanzas. So they have to even revise that. But in any case, we have only 3 poems, and when they write, they have to write the title of the poem. That is very important. Many a times the students don't mention the title, and they should write the title of the poem and also the poet's name, and then write the poem, whatever they have asked, they have to write with correct punctuation, because many a times, sometimes the students don't write the punctuation marks, like the comma or maybe the semicolon or whatever, exclamatory mark or anything, and then that they may lose marks because of that. So it's better that they revise the poem thoroughly. They just have to learn 3 poems. Out of that, 2 are definite. So they have to, definitely they can score 4 marks without difficulty. That's what I say.
ಇನ್ನೀಗ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
Regarding the reference to context, there are some lessons, as the weightage shows 3 marks, there's a lot of conversation in those lessons. So I can suggest that I'll give you now a few statements that are very commonly asked from these particular lessons. Now, for example, the first lesson, the wrong man in worker's paradise. So there's a lot of conversation there. So there are about 12 statements that can come from this. I will just read out for you a few of them. God, we haven't a moment to spare. Let's move on. Times are flying. We have our hands full. We make use of every single minute. Work, not a moment to spare for work. I have no time to waste on such as you. I am going. You want to draw water from the torrent? What kind of work would you like? A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose. So like this, you have a lot of statements in which there is conversation involved. There are many more actually. About 14 there are. So I'm sure your teacher must have already informed you those. Then the other one is the gift of the Magi. There's a lot of conversation. I'll read a few statements for you. Take your hat off and let's have a sight at the looks of it. Give it to me quick. Will you buy my hair? Please God, make him think I'm still pretty. I just had to do it. Maybe the hair on my head was numbered. Another one, a mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. Then the other one is, the eyes are not here. Okay, that lesson also, it's possible. I didn't know anyone else was here. Thank goodness it's a short journey. Ants are usually formidable creatures. What's it like? Oh, how lucky you are. Yes, October is the best time. You have an interesting face. So it goes on like this. Now, how do you answer this reference to context? The most important thing is you have to copy this statement in your answer paper. Because you write the statement. For example, God, we haven't a moment to spare. You copy that statement with the question number in your paper and then you write. This line is taken from the lesson The Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Then, next line. The busy man in Workers' Paradise, the busy men in Workers' Paradise say this. Then, so that gives you the answer, who said. Then comes to the context. In Workers' Paradise, the men are always busy with their work, so they have no time for leisure, yet they are happy and exalted in their work. So, you have first point, it carries 3 marks. So, the title of the lesson, author, you get 1 mark. Who said, to whom, another 1 mark, and the context, 1 mark. So, if you write it in a systematic manner like this, you will be able to score 3 marks. Now, that is in prose. Now, similarly, you have in poetry also. There are some lessons like Lochinvar. There is a conversation. She is one, we are gone. Or there you have. Then you have CLM. Okay. So many statements. My mother's life made me a man. Then Battu. In Battu also, there's a conversation between Dronacharya and Ekalavya or Battu. So there you can be asked. Then That Time of the Year by William Shakespeare. You can be asked there also. So there also it is the same. You can just write. For example, if you get a statement, she is one, we are gone over bank, bush and score. This is an extract from the poem Lochinvar, written by Sir Walter Scott. Now you write that, you get 1 mark. These words were said by Lochinvar. Then you write the context. Lochinvar fooled Ellen's parents, and as they danced, they reached the hall door. He put Ellen on the horse and rode away, saying the above line. So you write the context. So you have systematically 3 sentences, you get 3 marks. But remember to quote the line. That's very important.
ಇವಾಗ ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಲೆಟರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಆಗ್ತದ ಹೇಗೆ?
It is possible that to change the order. But very important, the student should write the question number correctly. Because there is a main question number, you call it the main question number and the sub question. And it is not like, Roman number 1, 1, 2, 3, and then Roman number 2, 1, 2, 3. It's not like that. Each question has a distinct number, continuous numbers, 1 to 45.
Yes.
So very clearly they can write. So there's no question of making a mistake. There's no 2 marks of one Roman number and 2 marks in another. It's continuous numbers 1 to 45. So if they are comfortable, they can attempt 5-mark questions first. For example, if they think letter writing, they are very thorough and sure. One good advantage now is children are given 15 minutes reading time. So when they read for 15 minutes the question paper, they can plan what is their strength. If they think they are very sure of the letter, let them attempt. So the 45th question can be written first. No problem. But the question number should be clearly written for the simple reason is because the evaluators have to enter the marks of every question on the first page. If the number is not clear, then the child may lose marks. So it's better that we advise children to go in order. But especially when it comes to letter and essay, if instead of losing time later or losing those marks later, it's better that they attempt it first.
ಇನ್ನೀಗ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಹೇಗೆ?
See, they are all English first language students. So they have, I assume, studied English for the past 10 years. So since it is a language paper, basic writing skills should be there. They may not minus, like, say, oh, they minus for spelling. Every spelling they are not going to minus. But generally, when they see if a child is not using correct spelling, they may deduct marks. But not for every spelling. I don't think anyone will do that. Then there should be capitalization. That's a basic skill. You begin a sentence with a capital. At the end, you put a full stop. Those are basic writing skills. Use of punctuation. If you're writing a question, you put a question mark. If there's an exclamatory mark, a full stop, a comma. These are the basic writing skills I think anyone in any language, if not only English, any language will have. But in English, we have such a thing as capitalization and use of punctuation. Then in poetry, as she said, children are able to say, or as they will say, I can speak English very well. I know the story of the lesson. But in the examination hall, they are asking you to write in a sentence. They are asking you to write in 3 to 4 sentences. Now, for example, in the lesson consumeristic culture, what is it that thrills modern day Indian choppers? It comes for 1 mark. So in 1 mark, it is the kind of choice that people in the West had, which we have now. That's the answer. But if the child is going to explain and say, talk about the flavors of ice cream and the whole thing, that 1 sentence, there is no time. If you're wasting so much to write 5 sentences for a 1 sentence, you should come to the topic. Not I'm saying write, and every sentence, don't just say now, who is, like for example, I'm just giving, who is the poet? Don't write the name, right? If they ask you in a sentence, it has to be written in a sentence. Okay, that is basic skills that are needed. Then time, I have already told you, if you waste time on 1 mark and 2 mark, you will not have time. So as you said, you can write poetry first, 4 mark poetry, or you can write letter writing first, or you can write essay first, no problem, but write the correct question numbers. That is very important. Then the other thing I wanted to tell you, that always, if you look at the timetable, the first language English is the first exam of the timetable. Now, the state level preparatory starts on 5th of January. First exam is first language. In the SSLC, first exam is on the 18th of March, first language. So if you do the best in the first language on the first day, that confidence will take you and help you to do very well for all the other papers. So prepare well for the first language. Then, yeah.
ಈಗ ಫೈನಲಿ ಕಡೆಯದಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೇ ದಿನಗಳಿದೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ. ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ವಿದಿನ್ 1 minute ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ.
What I suggest to the students is that they should not panic. They have to prepare well. First and foremost, I would like to tell all the students that you have the ability, you have the potential. No child is dull. You are all intelligent students, and God has created you with all the potential. So you have to trust in yourself. Have the confidence, build your confidence level. Think that you can do definitely well, and you will be able to succeed in your all the papers, I'm saying. Coming to our subject also, what I would like to tell you that please prepare well and sleep well. Don't lose your sleep. Go to bed early, get up early in the morning, devote more time for studies, come out of all your distractions, and prepare well and do well in your paper, and kindly revise the textbook as teacher suggested to you already, please go through the LBA material also, revise the grammar, vocabulary and everything. And if you work hard and if you answer well, success will be yours. So God bless you, students.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ತಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
First language English is a marks are 125. It's a big sizable number in your marks card. So if you want to get a very good, if you're a average student and you want to get a first class student wants to get distinction, and a distinction student wants to get the full marks. If you do very well in your first language, secure the full 125, your total and will be enhanced, because you must focus on your strengths. What you know, let's focus on. And luckily for you, you have 3 practice papers. First one in January until you answer your exam. So prepare well and do well. Thank you.
ಓಕೆ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಶಾಲೆ ಪ್ರಸಾರವಾಯಿತು.
ಬಾನುಲಿ ಶಾಲೆ ಬಾನತರಂಗದ ಶಾಲೆ.